Today, we're taking you behind the scenes of the Barestage Productions' enchanting musical, Into the Woods. Today, the spotlight shines on the dedicated individuals behind this production, including the director, stage manager, and key cast members whose collective efforts have brought this vivid narrative to life.
Yeah, so it's an incredibly hard show for many, many reasons. It's very long. It has this huge, dramatic 180 shift from almost slapstick levels of comedy in the Act 1 to spoiler alert, many people dying and all of this terrible stuff happening in Act 2. And you really have to kind of keep driving through the whole thing, because if you let it fall flat at any moment, then it just sort of collapses, and a lot of that is in the transitions between scenes. So one of the things that we've done here is that we don't particularly have a moving set. We don't have any big set piece changes that have to happen. So we've actually been able to cut a lot of transition music. A lot of scenes can go straight into the next one with just a simple lights out, lights back up, which saves us a lot of time overall. I told myself going into the show that I wanted to try to keep it as short as possible. I don't think I've totally succeeded, because we added a couple of songs that aren't always done, but they add a lot to certain characters. So just trying to keep it moving is the main challenge, and I think we've done that again a lot with the lack of set transitions. We have a great lighting setup, so we really can just lights down, lights up, and we're in the next scene. And the actors keeping everything moving has been a big part of rehearsals, just making sure everything moves.
Into the Woods has a lot of different emotional levels that we get to play around with. Though it is known as a fairy tale and fun show, it does have a lot of actually dark undertones to it. And so we get to utilize dramatic lighting changes with color and effects, as well as sound, to really make it a full experience for the audience and the cast members. It's super fun that we get to tweak and play around. The show really comes together when you add all the elements of set, costume, lighting, and sound. So it's a combination of everything that works to make the show have so many emotional levels.
I'd say for the baker, the most challenging part is trying to balance the fact that the baker's a very timid and afraid character. Like, he does not want to be in the woods, but also he doesn't want anyone else to know that he doesn't want to be in the woods. Like, he wants to act very strong and he wants to be that brave person, but he's not. And so trying to act like someone who's acting brave, yeah, I think that's probably the most challenging part.
I think the most difficult thing about playing the baker's wife is, famously, spoiler alert for Act 2 of Into the Woods, she cheats on her husband with the prince, and that can be a very hard thing to justify, because in the script it kind of seems to come out of nowhere. She interacts with the prince, I think, twice in Act 1, and it's very much in just a, you are a prince and I'm greeting you kind of way. So you have to rectify the version of her that exists in Act 1 in the beginning of Act 2, where she's this loving wife and mother, and then make it make sense that she decides to go on this secret rendezvous with the prince in the woods. And I think making sure that that feels justified in the production is a difficult thing to do, but I think we've done it.
I think for Cinderella, the most complex part about her character is that through her journey to self-fulfillment, she is faced with so much adversity, but in the end, she's still able to find the kindness and selflessness within herself to care for other people with the care that she's known before, and she's willing to do anything to help the people that she cares about, and that's really beautiful.
To be continued.
Insights from the creative team have shed light on the depth and intricacies of this musical masterpiece.